e.l.f. has some new products and we're putting them to the test in today's video and see how they're gonna work for my fair skin. You've probably heard of these, the e.l.f. Camo liquid blushes. Do we know when e.l.f. became a dupe brand? Because recently their launches have just been like, what's a really popular product which they can make at a more affordable price point, which I'm not totally mad at, but maybe some originality would be nice. That's a topic for another video, but we're trying out these liquid blushes. I also have the new Camo Hydrating CC Cream, which is a new edition of their CC Cream. And we have a lip combo, some other little samples that I tried out to see what works and what's not. Even though this is an affordable brand, I feel like there's a lot of misses within the brand that you should avoid, maybe including one of these. Let's go ahead and get into today's video. All right, let's get this party started. First, I have the Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. Not tried this one. I've only tried sort of the solid version, I guess. This is a little sample that I got, but let me open it up. Also got a sample of their gripping primer, which I didn't love the original. I have the sample of the niacinamide one, but I figured this one might go a little bit better with the base that we're trying today. I don't know, I've never been a huge fan of those like tacky primers. This one is a little bit more smoothing. Ooh, okay, so it is quite liquidy. I wonder what the like effect difference is between this and the solid putty primer. My skin is not the best at the moment. I guess that's kind of like the holiday break vibe, right? Skin doesn't love it. It says silky weightless liquid, so I'm guessing the difference between this and the solid version is it's supposed to be a little bit more lightweight, and I will say it definitely does feel more lightweight than the putty primer in the jar. That one can be a little bit like heavy on the skin, especially if you have more oily skin. This one feels like really, really nice and soft. Definitely has that like silicone type of primer feel to it, obviously. But yeah, it looks nice. It didn't like overly mattify. It's definitely not adding glow. That's not the point of it. But let's get into this new product from them, which is the second edition of their CC Cream. I did try the original and hated it. It just did not look good on my skin at all. So this one is more of a dewy finish, which could be interesting because I didn't really like the finish of the other one that much. It says it has skin-loving ingredients, tremella mushroom, and hyaluronic acid. It is SPF 30. Did not realize when I bought this that it has chemical sunscreens in it, which my skin does not love, so this will probably irritate my skin, but we're still gonna try it for the video. So I decided to pick up the shade Fair 100W, which is fair with warm golden undertones. I hope this doesn't have like a super strong sunscreen scent to it. I really dislike that in makeup. But the packaging is really nice. It sort of has like a shiny top compared to the original one, which was like all just black and matte packaging. So it says 1 to 2 pumps. Let's shake it up a little bit. The packaging of these are nice because you can just go ahead and pump it out, but it's still in a nice compact tube. Sometimes with these, the pumps, usually they're an airless pump, so there's not actually like, you know how there's usually that plastic tube going into the product. So if you hold it upside down, if it doesn't work, sometimes you just have to move the product sort of to this part of it. There we go. Yeah, definitely smells like sunscreen. So this is the shade 100W. The swatches were kind of confusing. I don't know, I always just go with the lightest warm or neutral shade. It's definitely thick. I'm gonna start with a little bit just to see how much coverage we can get out of it. I'm going to use a sponge. Okay, the shade match is actually really good. Not a ton of coverage with that one light layer of product. It's already feeling a little bit tingly on my hand, which is not a good sign. This was not my favorite thing to apply. It's kind of like sticking to my skin in not a very nice way. For the fact that this was supposed to be hydrating, I was picturing it to be like a little bit more dewy. Like it is really like satin matte finish still. I don't really see the dewiness going on. I just have like a regular moisturizer on. And with that one pump, it is more of a light coverage CC cream. I don't know, I'm just not really liking the look of it on my skin. Maybe it's the primer. So I actually went ahead and took that off. It just was not sitting well on my skin at all, and I don't want to irritate my skin, especially if it just doesn't look good to begin with. So first impressions with this is pretty bad. I'm honestly not even curious if it wears well. Like, I don't know, it's just gonna be a pass for me. If you're not sensitive to chemical sunscreens, maybe. I wasn't a fan of the first one, and that one like wasn't giving me the glow that I thought it would. So we're gonna start over because I especially want to test these blushes and give them a fair shot of working well and performing well. So I'm gonna go in with a go-to foundation. I've been obsessed with this foundation lately. The only thing I've been wearing, MAC Studio Radiance. It is so good and lightweight on the skin. So let me go ahead and apply this one instead. If you like a really hydrating CC cream feeling, well, this is actually much thinner than most CC creams. Like a really nice juicy foundation. This one is amazing. I have more combo skin and it wears so well even if I get oily. It's kind of like, it's one of those foundations that just does it all. And look at that, one pump gives you like pretty good coverage. Yeah, this looks so much better. I just don't know why I ever stray from this foundation. The shade is slightly light for me, but usually once I have bronzer and stuff on, it evens out. I will probably, next time I repurchase it, once I run out with this, because I will, I'll probably get the next shade, which is a little bit darker, which is NC11, because this one is NC5, which is their very lightest shade. Amazing shade range in this one as well. For concealer, because we definitely need it, Covergirl Trublend Undercover. Just wanted to whip this one out, it's pretty good. Of course, the e.l.f. concealers are a good pick as well. I don't really have a great shade at the moment, but those are a classic. So I'm also considering doing some best of 2023 videos. I did already do a blush video. I started a little bit early. Let me know what categories you want to see, or maybe if you want it all in one video, let me know. I feel like there's a lot of products that I discovered last year technically that I really love. In terms of makeup, 2023 was like my year of fair skin makeup, like really finding the best techniques in my makeup style and what I feel like I feel the best in. So yeah, that's been really fun. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows and set my under eyes so we can move on to these Camo liquid blushes because I'm really curious about these suckers. So actually, before I set anything on my face, let's get into these Camo liquid blushes. These are high pigment blushes, basically dupes of the Rare Beauty blush idea. Basically, I don't know if it's a formula dupe yet, we will see. I have two shades here, Dusty Rose and Pinky Promise. The one thing I noticed right off the bat is the shade range was quite warm, or they didn't have, the cool shades they did have were a bit deeper. Not a ton of like fair skin really catered shades. Like I would have loved a super light pink or like lilac shade, but I got the ones that I feel like would look best on my skin, but both of these do still seem a little bit warm. Let's go ahead and swatch them. So these say, build a long-lasting flush with this super pigmented liquid blush. Lightweight formula blends out to a soft, dewy finish. So both of these are dewy finishes. A little different from the Rare Beauty again, because Rare Beauty has multi-finishes in those blushes. They have the matte and dewy version. So this is the packaging. They're really cute and simple. They do have this design where it like picks up all the product right on the tip, which is quite interesting. I'm assuming you only need a very small amount, usually with these high pigment blushes. So here is Dusty Rose, which is honestly more like a dusty peach in my opinion. And this one is Pinky Promise. I did a little bit more on my hand. This one is really bright and pigmented. So as you can tell, even next to that one, it's pulling a little bit more peach. This one's just like a very true hot pink, basically. I don't feel like I could do cheek by cheek because they're so different. Let's put on the Dusty Rose one first, and then maybe we will add, I feel like it picks up too much product. Like, let's just see how that works. Yeah, these are really pigmented. That was just one dot. Blending out really nicely though. I'm gonna be honest, I've never been a fan of these super high pigment blushes, and this is kind of the reason. Because I'm so fair, it's really easy to go overboard. I'm gonna go in with my sponge just to see if we can soften that a little bit. And I think the applicator, like being shaped like that, is a good idea, but it still picks up a little bit too much product in my opinion, and that was just a little dot of product. Okay, that's looking a little bit better. So I'm gonna scrape off a lot of the product on this one, which kind of defeats the purpose of like the wand, but I just need so much less product. See actually how this one blends out with a sponge. Maybe it'll shear it out a bit. This shade I already like a lot better. It's the hot pink one. Let me pick up some more. So this one's Pinky Promise and this is Dusty Rose. I do definitely like this one better. I used less. I also just think these shades do a lot more for my face. These sort of warm peaches can make me look almost more sick in a way. I've just never been a fan. Like this, I don't know, it looked like it would be pretty, but it was a little bit too peachy in my opinion. Formula wise though, they're pigmented as they claim to be. They are a nice dewy finish. They feel relatively lightweight though, like it doesn't feel like I have a super rich cream on my skin. These actually don't look too different, so I will go ahead and set my face. We'll see how these wear. So I set everywhere besides the cheek region because I want to see how it wears without any powder because they are more dewy. Here's the colors again. This one is Pinky Promise. This one is Dusty Rose. This one, I don't know, just like looks more like my natural flush and I prefer more cool tone pink. I think that's probably going to be the drawback that I noticed so far is just the shades. Maybe I'll have to try more of them. I just wish there was some more like pastel light shades. Given you may be able to mix these like with a white concealer, but I just wish there was products that I don't have to mix, you know? So I also have the e.l.f. Jennifer Coolidge Lip Trio that I want to try on and show you the shade. But for my eyes, if you're curious, this really sparkly look, I've been obsessed with cool tones. Like all my holiday looks were basically this kind of look. I don't know, I'm just in a cool tone phase. I use the Trixie Cosmetics Disco After Dark. I love just like a playful brand like this. And this has like a really pretty glitter I can't wait to play with. But I used every single shade besides that glitter. And this is like a really pared down sort of version of the Natasha Denona Xenon. If you didn't want to like splurge on that many cool tones, these are a much more affordable option, but I feel like you still get the vibe of it. Like you could create just this really fun, cool tone, smoky look, and they're nice and small, and the packaging is super cute. And then I did put some highlight on the Colourpop Sailor Moon collab. I used the Moonlight Pressed Powder Highlight, which actually looks pink in the pan, but has more of this like white blue shift, which I felt like went really well with the cool tone smoky eye and the Colourpop Act Natural Mascara. Haven't tried this one until now. It gives you a really pretty like fluffy look, like not quite as lengthening, but I really like the look of it, so we'll see if that wears well. So for this lip combo, first is the full frontal, sorry. This is the lip liner, Cream Glide lip liner, and let me do a little swatchy swatch. It is a really nice, like neutral, I wouldn't say it's cool tone, but it's definitely verging a little bit more cool than warm, I would say. So I think the shade works really well and it is pretty. It's interesting that these are so creamy even though they're a wooden pencil, because when I think of a wooden pencil, I think of the NYX ones, which are a bit more sort of like sticky and more matte, so they last longer on me. But this one was really creamy, almost like the Colourpop lippy pencils, like that creamy but in a wooden pencil form, which is an interesting combination of features. So next is the lipstick, which is the Dirty Pillows O Face Satin Lipstick. This swatched online did not look warm, but once I got it home and put it on, it pulls so warm and peachy on me. I will show you what it looks like. It's just not my kind of nude. Like, it's not horrible, but like that's a peach. It's not like a nude. I like a really cool neutral lipstick, especially with this kind of eyeshadow. But I just wiped that off, and fortunately there's a third product, which is the Swollen. This is their lip plumping gloss, and this is just a really pretty light pink. So this with the lip liner I think really works as a lip combo for me. I love this lip gloss formula as well. I just bought a new shade. It is a bit thicker, which I like, but it's nice and creamy, so it's not super sticky, and I really like the finish of it, and they have really fun colors. So this was kind of like a surprising little find from e.l.f. I didn't know that they had this lip gloss or when they came out with it, but now I'm definitely a fan. I knew this lipstick shade seemed familiar. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Nude Romance shade, which is right here. And then this is the Colourpop one. Colourpop's definitely like a little bit lighter, but they both have that like peachiness to it, but the Charlotte Tilbury is a little more pink. Interesting possible dupe, not really, they're just similar. So it is 3 o'clock now. It's a little bit of a late start, but I'll wear this until I can and just see if the blush wears off or if it fades, and I will go ahead and update you so you know if these are going to be worth it, because they are affordable. But where are the cool tones? I don't see them. So unfortunate. Maybe they will expand these shades in the future. But if you have a skin tone similar to mine, or you're just looking for like maybe the most cool tone shade, Pinky Promise is quite a cool pink. As I already mentioned, the CC cream, just not my favorite. I don't even know why I bought it to try. I just didn't realize it had that chemical SPF in it. But that was it for today's video. There's gonna be another video on the screen here, so we can keep hanging out. Click here and I'll see you there. Bye.